Hey everyone, welcome back to Market Mama's channel. I'm Kendra and I have Becky here with me. We're day traders from the United States. I'm in California and Becky's up in Oregon. We've been at this for about 3.5 years now. We decided about a year ago to create a community, to start a podcast, just really have a safe space to normalize the very difficult journey of learning to day trade, and specifically the psychology work, everything that goes into it. We're going to hear mostly from Becky. She's going to give us a weekly recap of everything going on with her, of trading and just life in general, and just catch us up.
Okay, so my last 2 weeks have been like a total whirlwind, honestly. So here at Market Mama's podcast, we have no help. There's no staff, no crew, no additional cameramen or lighting and editing queens that set us up. Like Kendra and I are it. And we both continuously manage our visual and audio settings, plan and write the content, schedule our recording sessions around our children's schedules to mitigate the house noise and interruptions. Kendra is our video editing, thumbnail, and short making queen. And I do more of the writing and editing the blogs with each episode that's on their website, the scheduling and the financing, and so much more. But honestly, that's not really the purpose for the point of what I'm getting to today. The moral of what I'm saying is that we are a 2-woman team who are like wholly dedicated to growing Market Mamas as an authentic, productive, and helpful podcast to try and contribute to the trading space at large. We honestly really feel like that talking so openly about the realities of learning to become a consistently profitable trader in real time as we are doing just that is showing up for whoever else is also in this journey and wants to not feel like they're alone, especially on the struggle days, which are inevitable in this pursuit. And on my struggle days, I know I find solace in talking to other people that understand it. So that's kind of what we are as a podcast can be for you. But creating Market Mamas, it's no small feat, really, if we're being honest about it. Both Kendra and I are literal mamas of 3 kids each with full and beautiful lives, totally outside of trading and Market Mamas. So when anything disrupts our day-to-day flow, that requires immediate attention and action to keep us on schedule with all of this, such as a trip. So vacations are wonderful and can be adventurous or relaxing, sightseeing or dancing all night and sleeping in the next day. It can provide like some much needed quality time with our loved ones or just ourselves. But in order to be so busy in our normal day-to-day activities and then to take a trip, it's like a heck of a lot of work on both ends. For most aspiring day traders, you guys will likely get this point too, podcast aside, because often any growing day trader also has a day job and family and other responsibilities as well, like we do. So you know what it is to be super busy and have your attention split so many ways.
Right. I mean, any given day, week, we're just so caught up in the hustle and bustle of life and just going after everything we're trying to achieve and grow into, in addition to just maintaining for our lives and for everyone, being, caregivers, and it's a lot. And so, yeah, Market Mamas is definitely a labor of love, and we pour into her because we, believe in what we're doing and we want to just share. But also I'm so glad you're bringing this up because it's really important to highlight. It really takes a toll on you when you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I'm filling all these boxes. I'm checking off all these lists every day. And it's hard to make time to slow down and to have time off, really. So yeah. It's important to have breaks, but it's so hard to even be on a break when you're on a break, right? Because you're instantly thinking of, you're just so wired to do and everything. So it's really hard to slow down for sure.
Right. Like for me specifically and my family, we don't, or at least yet haven't been very big vacation takers. We'll visit out of town family or go camping for long weekends every year for sure. But those are fairly easy to accommodate and work around and do create great memories. But a week or more long trips are a whole different deal for us. Last week, I went on an Alaskan cruise out of Vancouver, BC with my family of 5 and then also my parents. So it was really, really great. We explored historic Alaskan seaports and took the train through the mountain curves of Canada, which my oldest son loved being out on the back deck with his head in the wind. It was just beautiful to see him just really enjoying that. And I mean, we saw all manner of sea and land wildlife from the ship and in the ports. We swam in the pool with the boys on the sea cruising days and ate way too much delicious food and really just made really great memories with my parents and my boys that I think we all will cherish forever. It was like a unique moment in time that we really could capture this relationship with everyone. So for anyone considering, we definitely recommend it. It was awesome. It was adventurous, but like easy. Cruises really do, Kendra taught me this. They have such a streamlined process for making guest experiences just seamless and really wonderful. But you guys, the working ahead for Market Mamas for this trip and then catching up on the return was legit. And I know that it has been for Kendra too, for her vacation since we started this podcast. Life is always a big balancing act though, right? No matter what arena you're in, we all have to deal with this on whatever front we decide to engage with, really. Choose what our main priorities are and then schedule our time and meet the needs, do our best, catch up when we can, work ahead when we can, and then also ask for help when we need to, because we are just humans after all. And this is life. And we are blessed to have really these busy, tightly scheduled days and pages long to-do lists some days, because this means that we have opportunities, goals, projects that drive us closer to said goals, and loved ones to do it for and with. You guys know that I'm a total nerd for gratitude, but it seriously helps me manage the potentially overwhelming moments of this, to take a second some days and see that I am feeling rushed and a bit anxious because I am mid pursuit for my dreams, plural dreams, that I'm just obsessed with and will not quit at. Like, I know that I'm a 6-figure day trader and that the small gains I've locked in so far are nothing compared to where I'm headed. So that keeps me showing up every morning when my alarm goes off. And similar with Market Mamas, I will work on her every day in some way to keep the consistency and quality that Kendra and I are so dedicated to. So take a moment to thank you all again for our subscribers, both like the new ones that we're meeting and the ones that have been there with us since day one. We really love you guys and are so thankful to see people showing up and gaining value from these conversations that we just really pour into. Like those of you agree that the 3 post-it notes worth of to-do checklist on your desk, like I have today on mine, it's kind of crazy, but it's totally worth it.
It is, it reminds me of what we've talked about before. It's that perspective of like, okay, I have to do so much versus like, I get to do, and it's stress, but it's good stress. It's evidence of the fact that we are leading really full and big lives and striving towards things. And I honestly wouldn't know, I wouldn't know what to do with myself if I didn't have all these things, to fill my life with. So, it is a lot, but it's worth it. It's not easy, but it's worth it, just like with trading. And I love that you guys took that amazing cruise and made those memories and just captured all that experience. I definitely agree, like cruising, especially if you have a really busy lifestyle, kids, cruising is the best because you literally get on a ship and everything's done for you. Like all your hardest decision is like, okay, what am I going to do today? Like I could do this or I could do that. You're being served and it's just, it's so fun. So I'm so glad you guys had that. And hopefully you and I get to do another cruise. We did one just this past May. For all our new viewers who didn't see, we recapped that a bit in a few episodes as well, but it was the best time. And so I just love being on a ship. Like I'm a cruiser, cruise at least once a year, sometimes twice. I don't know how many cruises. It's definitely been over 10 now. Cruising is a really, really good experience, and you get to visit places that you can, you go in port and you could visit for a day, and then you could decide like, hey, maybe I want to come back here. And that's how I started going to Cabo San Lucas once a year. Is I, cruise there a few times, and I was like, I think I want to come, back and spend a full week. So, yeah, cruising's awesome. And what else? Tell us more about your week, Becky. When you came back and had to get back to life and catch up. I always say you need a vacation from a vacation, because just like you were saying, just leading up to it, having to do all the prep, not only for your family, for yourself, but for all the work, to be able to be gone. That's a lot. And then returning back and getting back into the swing of things. It can be
Yeah. You among everyone gets it so much because we have a similar full lives. Yeah, and my husband and I tease that a vacation with kids is an adventure, and a vacation without kids is where you actually like vacation and rest and unwind and recharge. So we definitely made memories and had an adventure this time.
for sure.
So I got back from that cruise this last Wednesday, and then I only had 2 trading days available for me if I even was ready to trade on Thursday. But I spent a good half of my drive back to the Portland, Oregon area from Canada on Wednesday, studying video recordings from my mentor and my community for the purpose of catching up with what Miss Market did while I was away. Thoughts of my teammates on how this week was going for the markets and what it looked like. And when I went to do my charts this last Wednesday night, as I always prep my charts the night before a trading day with the pertinent levels and data from that day's session in order to prepare for the next day, what it might do. So in that moment, Wednesday night, I actually felt like ready and as if I hadn't missed much at all because of the prep I had done in the car. So this is number 578 on the list of reasons why a supportive mentor and community is invaluable as an aspiring trader, for me at least. You guys. So as I got to my charts, a little extra drowsy Thursday morning, to be honest, I started creating my morning's trade plan for after where I left off the night before on creating my trade plan. I was honestly really pleasantly relieved to see a great setup right away. For all my early traders out there, this is an excellent next level to get to in your learning stages. When you have a handful of bread and butter setups that you can start to identify ahead of time and prepare to execute on with a higher degree of probability of the trade's success rate based on what you've learned. It's like a really, truly great feeling to be easing into for myself. And I never want to take it for granted or think that I'm too certain in a trade and over leverage or cut corners on my process, though. You have to be careful. It can get dangerous if you get any kind of overconfidence with the markets. But this Thursday morning, that market was opening with the gap up outside of a consolidation period, but also was showing signs of weakness immediately pre-market. And by miss market, for me, I'm referring to YM, as this is my current preferred futures market that I trade. So for anyone who knows me well, you know that I love my bears. So if we are opening up in the upper standard deviation bands after a steady overnight momentum and creating a gap, but showing weakness and bearish divergence, I am totally looking forward to taking a scalp out of that early drop against the trapped pre-market buyers. Now, this setup is counter trend and isn't always the play. But in this instance, and for a nice 5 to 10 minute scalp with strong momentum, my daily income and then some can be locked in before my kids are even up and getting ready for school. And that's what happened bright and early Thursday morning. It's like the market welcomed me back with open arms. And I'm like, yes, she sees me. I'm a real trader. It was great.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I love that you had that setup. And I love how you're so comfortable shorting. Like when you see it, you're confident, you go with it. I mean, that's who you are as a trader. And that's awesome. That's really awesome when you could, take advantage of that. And yeah, Thursday was such a better day, a trading day after the week we had. So I'm so glad that you came back. And I also feel like it's really nice to come back fresh from having a few days off, like because you're able to just, it's exciting. I mean, every day is exciting, but after like trading, sometimes, you can either have emotional carryover or it's just nice to like come with a fresh set of eyes. Like you said, you got caught up on your community and just the market. And so I've always enjoyed after coming back from a trip or a week off, getting caught up with where the market's at. And I'm so glad Miss Market welcomed you back with open arms and your bear showed up for that portion.
Thank you, Miss Market. I love you too. Yeah. It's a nice way to come back. And you never really know. Like, I think I had some jitters, some re-entry jitters that day. And I got through it. And thank goodness for a good setup in that moment. It helped. Okay. So my other trading day this last week was Friday. And as I've mentioned before, I am instinctually more of a scalper. And I am not afraid to leverage a bit with that in order to lock in a healthy P&L for my day when I see a good setup. But like Thursday trade was a super short scalp. And I was like, I could have held it longer. We always have room for improvement as traders. Everyone gets that. So on Friday, when we were setting up for market open, I saw a solid trade setup. The weekly candle looked solidly bullish, and historically, Fridays tend to be more rotational to create the candle's wick and will often revert to the mean at the day's end, also fitting with that. So this puts me on watch from the get for a potential rotational day. But also, I have definitely been burned taking this average data for granted on a massive trending Friday also. So take all this with a grain of salt, you guys. And in no way is it financial or trading advice because we're not financial advisors at Market Mamas. But it is my experience. So now the market is statistically rotational about 70% of the time. And with scalping tendencies, I can work with that. Price often in these days will bounce between the two standard deviation bands and will be dancing with view up instead of holding on one side or the other. There's tells to this day with pre-market trading and what it looks like at open and the bands. So Friday, I was seeing my early confluences for just this type of day. So I got into my trade early at support, basically right at market open. And I do try to wait generally for a little bit more data than that. But I think, girl, I had a limit order that was filled at 6:29, like 20 seconds before market open. It was already there. And I was like, oh, I'm real early. Okay, so I was like, it's fine. My trade plan is good. And I was in at the level I want to get in at. But you guys, so she dipped lower than I had planned before she then held and started heading up to my targets. And my stop was placed on order entry below the lower and more substantial relative support. It was placed there, but I didn't actually want or intend to actually weather the drawdown. It was like, it could go down there, but she'll probably hold. No, she went down there. So of course, my trade, thank goodness, it did hold, but my trade was in red in that little dip for over an hour. And it wasn't like a horrible point-wise situation, but it was the time. It was that momentum, the slow rotational energy. It was bouncy. It was inconsistent. It was like hovering around there and not doing anything. So it did tell me that it was like rotational energy. So I felt okay holding. I love it when my target gets hit in a few minutes. And this day I held that damn trade for 3 hours. Now, I actually got out the calculator because this is literally 37 times my normal hold time for my early market trades per my journal data. I seriously had to manage my nerves and jitters in that morning so much. I pivoted while holding the trade to getting my kids off to school, getting my toddler up and fed. And then I was like still in this stinking trade, like bouncing around red and green. And the urge was so strong, you guys, to just scratch it with a small loss, to break even a small win, just to end the discomfort of holding. But then I was like, fuck that. I know how to read the market pretty well, and my data is telling me that my targets are still in play and my support is holding, that I predefined before I even entered that trade, and we are just moving slowly. So it was a big step for me. I left with my toddler to go to my middle child's jogathon at his elementary school, and I just let the trade play without me. Inside, it was, of course, inside a protective bracket order. And so it was as he was finishing his running for the jogathon, 3 hours into New York session, that my target finally got hit and the alert on my phone pinged and my trade was done. It's like sweet relief, but also it reinforced that when my data supports a good trade, I really could do better with like breathing and walking away and not over managing her. I am still, I would say, at the messy middle of my trading career where I have great setups, but I'm still growing my confidence in the actual moments of execution and management. It's way easier said than experienced, if anyone knows what I mean. You can hear me on this because I fully acknowledge and respect this situation in my trading, and I'm really working to improve it. So this was a P&L victory, but it was also a huge mindset victory because not only did I lock in a good win to end a very short week of trading, but I honored my intentions by staying present with the market and holding my trade when nothing was telling me to get out except my own anxiety. So this is nice growth, and that I crave this growth and want to reinforce it as I continue my trading journey and kind of working to improve my game.
Right. That is 100% a win all around because you had conviction and you held your conviction despite being in that uncomfortable red, hold for, like you said, I mean, that's crazy how many hours. And I was so proud of you. I was like, girl, you got this. Like you're building that emotional resilience muscle, and you're so good with rotation too. Like you are a rotational trader. So it's like when you feel it, when you know it, like that's what's beautiful about the rotation days is it will, like it's going to rotate and it's going to go back up to those targets. And so you held that like a champion. like I think it's so hard because like we forget that it's okay to accept your trade. Like you put in the work already, and like let the cards fall as they may. And like even if it wouldn't have worked out, like the fact that you held your conviction and you followed your plan, like that's your win. So like we talked about in the game of probabilities, like nothing's ever 100%, but you'll never it'll never work in your favor if you like back, it's like there's no take backs. Like we have to just commit. And so I'm so proud of you. I think that was awesome. And thanks for sharing that with everyone, because it's a huge part of trading, because a lot of the struggle and challenges I think we face is because we don't allow our trades to play out. We doubt ourselves. We overmanage them. That's a horrible feeling when you overmanage your trade. And then you're like, damn it, if I would have just trusted this, like, and held and just left it alone, like it would have worked out. And so that was that's a vote, that's a vote for the trader who you are, who you are, and for your skill set and for your knowledge and your understanding of market context. So yay for Becky. Ended your week super strong.
This is literally like exactly it, Kendra. And Kendra and I share our charts in the morning. We talk about our trade experience and the little things, our little takeaways from it. And she messaged me after we normally both check in with each other. And she's like, how'd you do? You okay? Because if one of us is quiet, there's like a reason, right? And so I was like, I am still in my trade. Like I literally got in at 6:29 earlier than ever. And I am still in this goddamn trade. And then I was like, I'm holding it. And I think telling her like even almost made me more accountable. You guys have to watch our accountability partnership, because this is a literal example of like, I told no one that I was still in this damn trade. And then Kendra's like, what's up? And I was like, oh, I'm still in. I sent her a screenshot of my bills. And I was like, this is what I'm trying to do. And I want to hold it because yesterday, often I will scalp and I'll take, like a half or a third of a good move, and I will get out at the lowest hanging fruit. And that is a consistently profitable tactic for me. But I also want to start growing and expanding. And on days when I really like the setup, holding it longer. And so I think telling Kendra also helped me be like, I don't need to overmanage this. Like just focus on the data and like start to manage your personal body better and control the anxiety as much as you can. And that is like seriously easier said than done, but it's worth it. And as you like learn your setups and you can see what the data is telling you in real time, it does get easier. If anyone else knows what we're talking about, it's like there's so many million little ways that we all will grow and pivot and adjust and aspire and get better as traders. And this was like a good example of me pushing myself and then being rewarded because I was pushing myself in the right way for the right reasons. And so that's really reinforcing who I want to be and the opportunities that trading can provide, because you can grow a next level once you start getting some profitability. There's always ways to adjust and grow and improve. And I love that possibility that trading offers and the ways that we can do it and the support that we have around us. Kendra and I are very blessed to have each other and the people we do in our circles. So thank you all for being here with us in our circle. We really very much do appreciate the people that come to our channel and find value and make comments and subscribe. And if you hit the notifications button, you'll find when we get new episodes, you'll be pinged so you can keep up with us, as we do put out a new episode every 5 days at this point. And we really do love talking trading. So literally, that's what we do. Hang out with us anytime. And our website is www.market-llamas.com, market-llamas.com. And we actually have some killer merch in there for coffee mugs and t-shirts and everything. And thanks for being here with us. And take care, everyone.
Take care. Bye.